So hello there, mysterious voice from far away. Who am I talking to today?
Hello, hello. It is I, your American friend, Melissa Drew.
Okay, let's talk about Sherlock Holmes. There are few characters from fiction more eminently recognisable than that of Sherlock Holmes. A character it turns out the original author fucking hated, so much so that he spent years actively trying to get rid of the character, so he ultimately had him suplexed off of a cliff.
Who is this author, Karl?
Well, this author was one Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, a man I will no doubt talk about in a future Fact Fiend video, mainly because he spent many years accusing Harry Houdini of being a somewhat powerful wizard. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the guy who wrote Sherlock Holmes, was obsessed with mysticism and mediums and genuinely thought that magicians had magic powers. And Harry Houdini absolutely hated mediums and spent many years debunking them.
Yeah.
And there was animosity between the two men because Sir Arthur Conan Doyle thought that Harry Houdini was debunking other mediums to hide the fact that he himself was a powerful wizard. He actually accused him of using his own magic powers to suppress the magic powers of other people, and nothing Houdini could do could convince him of the fact, no, I'm not got magic powers. I'm a magician. It's a trick.
I feel like the more you say you don't have magic powers, though, the more likely you are to actually have magic powers.
But I love the idea, this famed British author who's really well respected and known, spent a good chunk of his time just publicly and loudly accusing one of the most famous magicians of all time of just being a wizard. And I'm going to guess, Melissa, that you've seen some Sherlock Holmes related media in the past?
Yeah, I have. I did watch the TV series.
Which one?
The one with Lucy Liu.
Oh, so not the Benedict Cumberbatch one?
Yeah.
The American one. Did you hear how that got made? 'Cause it,
No, I didn't.
It was an American TV network. It was oh, can we license Sherlock from the BBC? And the BBC went, nah. And then they realised, wait, Sherlock Holmes is in the public domain, so fuck it, we'll just make our own Sherlock TV show. So how is that show? Because I've heard good things, I suppose.
It wasn't bad, and I do really like Lucy Liu a lot. She's super hot.
Yes. This is known.
I hate Sherlock Holmes as a character, though. He's too quirky.
Ow! What the hell was that about?
Don't be cross. Could have been a knife.
So, aside from the main character being fucking annoying, the show's pretty good.
I think that's the problem with a lot of shows inspired by Sherlock Holmes, the most notable House. And the character is so smart to the point where it just comes across as super fucking annoying.
Yeah.
So if you know everything, fine, but stop acting like a dickhead about it. We get it, you're really smart, House.
That smugness of yours really is an attractive quality.
Thank you. It was either that or get my hair highlighted. Smugness is easier to maintain.
I didn't even know that show was based off that.
No. House, Holmes.
That would make sense as to why I didn't like that show.
Yeah, that's the kind of Easter egg that you hear about, and your only response is going to be a massive fucking sigh while you just rub the bridge of your nose, of fucking course it is. Ugh.
Yeah, I just was not a big fan of Sherlock Holmes's character, and I'm pretty sure that Arthur Conan Doyle would agree with me there.
Yeah, he ended up just greatly disliking his most famous creation and tried for years to weasel out of writing any more Holmes stories, and toyed with the idea of killing the character off for years, and was only held back from doing this by, I shit you not, his own mother, who when he mentioned to her, oh, I'm getting a bit sick of these Sherlock Holmes stories, I might kill him off in the next novel, his mum wrote him a letter saying don't.
Oh, really?
And that singular fact makes me just empathise with Arthur Conan Doyle so much, because I know there are a number of things I've done in my life that I was going to do right up until I just got that look of disappointment from my parents. For example, fans of this channel may have realised I swear a lot less in my videos than when we first started them, and that's because my mum watched one once and went, son, I like your videos. You don't need to swear as much though. And I was like, oh no. Just, it hits you right there. It's like, oh no, I don't want to disappoint my mum. I guess I better stop swearing.
Aw, good for you
Hi,
though.
Mum. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I hope I'm swearing less and I'm making you proud. She watches these on a big TV in a front room and it really freaks me out.
Does she have viewing parties?
And she doesn't, and if she did, I'd die of embarrassment. But she's got a TV that's so massive, it's almost life size. So I'm on a screen almost as big as I am in real life, but it's a little bit smaller. And it freaks me the fuck out because it's too HD. Do you know when you take a selfie of yourself on a really good camera and you look and you go, oh God, no. Is that what I'm walking around looking like? When you look at yourself on an iPhone.
Yeah, that's how I feel with my new iPhone. I have to throw filters on there, otherwise it's just too much. So, bring it back to Sherlock Holmes. Doyle did eventually kill him off, right?
He did, yes. And I'm going to do the pop quiz now. Do you remember what the name of the short story in which Sherlock Holmes dies was called? So you said you studied this at school. Oh, no. Well, for the people furiously typing it out, it was The Final Problem, which, you could read as allusion to. It's the final problem Sherlock Holmes must solve, but knowing that Doyle hated the character, you can also read it as the final problem for me, killing off this motherfucker right here. And sources from the time note that the reaction to the death of Sherlock Holmes was somewhat similar to, online reactions you see today to, shocking or just disappointing pieces of media. It was like the Game of Thrones finale of its day, with thousands of people complaining directly to both Arthur Conan Doyle and the magazine in which Sherlock Holmes was published, The Strand, in addition to cancelling their subscription to The Strand en masse to the tune of about 20,000 people. And Arthur Conan Doyle, for his part, didn't give the remotest hint of a shit that he killed Sherlock Holmes. And if you go look at his diary, the day that story was published, he simply wrote for that day, killed Holmes.
That's hilarious, though, that people were in such an uproar.
Oh, that they cancelled their subscription in a really petty show of just, no, I don't agree with this. And it's similar to the reaction to the Game of Thrones finale. Did you watch Game of Thrones at all? Where were you on that?
Severe disappointment.
Oh, man.
I remember feeling actually upset in life over the ending of Game of Thrones. And you know what? I am like those people that canceled their magazine subscription. I canceled my HBO after that.
Yeah. There was a deal over here. It's you get 3 months of HBO. I didn't even bother watching the last episode.
That's fair.
On the day it aired, I watched it 3 weeks later because I noticed that the subscription deal I got was running out.
Yeah.
I watched it and went, yep, that was a thing. I will never watch this series ever again. And I saw it summed up as I've never seen an ending so comprehensively just eradicate the piece of media it is bookending from the public consciousness to the point where it has absolutely no cultural relevance anymore. Nobody talks about Game of Thrones.
I know, it's crazy, because that was such a big part of life.
It dominated public discussion.
Yeah.
Every week it came out and then it's gone.
How did he kill him off in the story?
He gets into a fist fight with Moriarty over the Reichenbach Falls, and then Izuna drops him down to the depths, and they both die. Because spoilers, Sherlock Holmes came back, and that was after many years of Doyle having to deal with fans asking him if he was going to write more Sherlock Holmes stories every single day. I adore just the way in which Sherlock Holmes is killed, because he literally does an Izuna drop to Moriarty. And do you know what I'm talking about when I say the Izuna drop?
No.
Okay, it's a move from Ninja Gaiden, probably one of my favourite moves in any game of all time. And for the audience at home who also don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, because what's going to happen now is the person who edits this is going to find a Izuna drop from a video game and put a little picture of Moriarty and a little picture of Sherlock Holmes onto the faces to demonstrate what I'm talking about. And I love having this power, and I've had a few other people guest featuring on the show, and I've asked them, do you want a dumb Photoshop making? They both said no. So I'm hoping that you, Melissa, can just be the exception to this rule and come up with a dumb Photoshop. So do you have a dumb Photoshop you want the editor of this video to make? Because we have the power to do that.
I want a dumb Photoshop of me.
Okay, sure. Okay, so what do you want the Photoshop to be of?
I want to be the author killing off Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, do you want to be
that character?
Do you want to be Izuna dropping it?
Yes, thank you. So, Arthur Conan Doyle used Sherlock Holmes to hustle.
Yeah, that's the name of the video, so we should probably get into that. And it's noted that before Doyle made the decision to kill off Holmes and then the later decision to bring him back to life because he was so sick of dealing with people just bothering him about it. One of the ways he tried to get Sherlock Holmes killed off was to simply just go to The Strand, the magazine publishing the stories, and just demand ever-increasing amounts of money for his work, thinking that if I quote a high enough figure, eventually they'll just stop asking for Sherlock Holmes stories. And then he noticed that no matter how high a figure he quoted, they always said yes. So what he did is he just started doubling his he doubled his quote, and then he doubled it again, and then he doubled it again, and so forth and so on until he was the highest paid author in England at the time, writing for a character he didn't like just because he noticed that every time he asked for more money, they'd be like, fine, we'll pay it. So this is where you get to do all that lovely self-promoting that I know you really enjoy.
I'm so fucking bad at talking about myself.
I've noticed that a few times. Like, we've had Simon Whistler from Today I Found Out on, and Daven Hiskey, who like owns that website, and both of them said the same thing about I don't like talking about myself. I think that's just a universal fact of life about people who work online. And we can use that to...
I was going to say, you've said the same thing.
Yeah, I don't like talking about myself either, like, contrary to what people might think. It's just like, there's whiskey in this, folks, don't worry. But we can use that as a jumping off platform, and you can tell people, like, who the hell are you? Because I'm guessing people are already wondering, like, who's this mysterious American lady in the videos all of a sudden?
I'm the dabber, though.
Oh, you are, yes.
I've already been in one of your videos.
Have you?
Sort of.
Oh, yeah, you were, yeah. So, the person I'm talking to now, remotely via America, is my friend Melissa. She's all the way from America, and what is the way you describe your job to people?
I moisten panties professionally. No, I don't know. I'm a
That's my
naked
job.
Weirdo on the internet.
And we might as well tell this story, because it's one that no one ever believes, and you can confirm it for me live on camera, that we got to know each other because you noticed that you got less weird fan mail than I do, correct?
Pretty much, yeah. I think that we compared our quirky internet stories, and yours seemed a lot worse than mine did. It's funny because, like, the worst that I get is, like, a dick pic here and there, and you get people, like, really, really obsessing over you.
It's weird.
In, like, not healthy ways.
Yeah, and as a reminder, Melissa's job is being naked on the internet, and that's one of those points of reference I use when talking to my friends and stuff. Like, is it really, like, is the stuff you get from people that bad? And I always use you as, like, an example of, well, here's my friend, and she gets it not as bad as I do. And this is like, wow, what is it about YouTubers? People are actually, I don't know.
I think that people see people on YouTube, though, and, you know, watching videos, they feel like they get to know you a lot more, which is not true.
Because you've, like, done me the favour of appearing in one of my videos and talking about Sherlock Holmes, even though you don't like Sherlock Holmes, would you like to now self-promote like a motherfucker and get this video demonetized?
If my name's, like, anywhere in the fucking description or anything like that, I'm sure it's gonna get demonetized anyways. But
really? It's that bad?
Yeah, I don't know, man. YouTube hates naked internet people, but you can find me on Twitter at _Melissa_Drew, or you can find me on OnlyFans at OnlyFans.
Oh, do you have an OnlyFans?
/Melissa Drew? I do.
What is that? Because I hear it only from, like, the joking perspective, because people telling me to set one up and saying you should set one up, but the only thing you do is tell people to fuck off for $5. And I'm tempted, I'll be honest.
I mean, you could. You totally could. Yeah.
Is that a thing? Let us know, folks. Would you want me to do that? Would you want me to record personalised fuck you messages in front of the green screen on OnlyFans for $5?
I think the answer is yes.
Do you know what? I might do that if the response is positive enough, and we'll do it as like a charity thing, and I'll set it up for like a day or something. You're going to pay someone $5 to tell you to fuck off. That money should probably be in a charity's pocket rather than yours, if that's the point you're getting to. But I am curious, though, because you're in lockdown right now, correct? As we all are.
Yes.
How are you coping? Because like myself, you work from home.
Yeah, you know, like, my schedule and day-to-day life hasn't changed whatsoever, but the fact that I'm being told that I have to stay indoors is, like, what's getting to me, because what if I suddenly had a really cool social life that I can't act on now? Which I don't, but not much has changed.
The only thing that's changed for me is I'm just, instead of, like, going to a friend's house and drinking, we're drinking in our own houses and just talking on Xbox Live. I'm actually doing more work now because I have to operate the camera. I think you even noticed that, in early footage I recorded, I'm stood off to the left. Because I'm Bernie Sanders doing it, I'm just, like, off to the left of frame because I don't know how to stand in front of the camera. That's how bad at my own job I am. We have to have a big X on the floor that I stand on normally, that I got rid of because the guy who cleans the office kept hoovering over it. And it's like, oh no, it's starting to get dog-eared and I feel really bad that he's doing that. And to close off, Melissa, would you like to, like, self-promote again? Because I know how awkward it makes people when I ask them to do that.
Yeah, you can go stare at my butt at onlyfans.com/Melissa Drew.
I love that this is my job. Oh, man. Oh, the internet's such a wonderful place sometimes. Oh, I'm glad that we're friends, Melissa. I'm
Yeah,
really
me
glad.
too. Me too.